What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after week number 9 in our Columbus Aviators franchise. The Aviators continue their strong start to the season here as we enter week 10. Things are looking very good. Only one loss on the year so far, and that was against another very good team, and it's a game that I feel like we could still win if we come up against them in the playoffs. I think we're sitting in a good spot right now, and now we have a bye week, which is great. We did have a few injuries to worry about. One extra week where we don't have to worry about not having our guys out on the field is definitely going to be good for us. And this also gives us an opportunity to, one, check the stats from the entire league, and two, look at the awards. So I'm thinking this week what we will do is check the stats from around the league. Next week we will look at all the awards because we're going to have 2 news videos in a row here. But we can go back to scouting, and I'm excited about this. We can look around and find out which players we'd really like. Now, we're kind of in an interesting spot. Again, our team is pretty solid right now. I feel very comfortable with a lot of the guys that we have, but look at this guy here. Max Huerta, B catching for a fullback, which leads me to believe he might have speed. Doran Dickerson's getting up there in age a little bit, and it might be a good idea to invest some points into this guy. I don't know. Apparently, he's not going to grade out all that well. C carrying, I'm not a fan of that. I am going to watch him, though. That B catching might be a weapon that we can utilize. Again, you know, we're kind of in a spot where I don't have a whole lot of major needs at the moment, so we really can try to focus on getting project players. We don't need to draft a guy that's going to be great right away. We can find a guy that has a lot of potential to be something unique, like a fullback with good, with B catching. I mean, that's something that we could really develop into our own weapon, and so that's what I'm looking at there. I do want to look at these Appalachian State guys before we get moving, but I forget which position they play. All right, here we go. B plus hit power. CJ Ayers, bring it home. Be a good player for me, bro. You know what? C plus zone coverage is pretty solid for what you typically see in these safeties. I don't know why that's the case. Oh man, not great. Not great. I'm going to watch him anyway. He's an App State guy. I have to. And then there's a guard that's an App State player as well. I believe it's a guard. Left guard, maybe? Aha! Yeah, he's the best left guard in the draft. Shakir Farrell. And I'm going to keep an eye on him as well. Really not thrilled with his stats there, to be honest. But he's App State. It's kind of what I got to do. So, really, we're in an interesting bind. We're pretty solid across the board. So, really, it's going to be interesting to see if we find players that we like. You know, we might be in a spot where we trade down some. I don't know. We'll kind of see how everything unfolds. If we find players that we really like, that we want to keep, and so on, or how to handle it as we move forward here. But overall, you know, we're obviously in a pretty solid spot at the moment with our roster. We got a lot of youth, a lot of good players. So let's go ahead and check out the stats this week. Again, since we do not have a game, we'll look at the injury report really quick as well. And this is going to be one of our first opportunities to really look across the season. So, you know, Sankey, McKnight, and Hale are all still out. But again, another week of them just recovering. We don't have to worry about missing their presence on the field this week. So that's definitely going to be good. Stats, I will look at the weekly awards for this past week, kind of see what we got there. Adrian Patrick, 30 of 41, 5 touchdowns for him. Shepard with 23 tackles and a fumble forced. Chris Culver, 13 tackles and an interception. And James Gomez, 22 of 30, 4 touchdowns for him. Now let's go ahead and check out the stats from around the NFL this time. I'm excited to get to this. And here we go. All right, so passing yards is being led by Max Austin, still 2,800 yards. Nobody is even close to him. Andy Dalton's going to be there. Nassib, Tyson Russell coming in at 4. Josh Broussard 5. Nate Keller 6. Andrew Luck 7. Newton, Patrick, and Flacco rounding out the top 10 there. Passing touchdowns, Max Austin, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season. This is a superstar right here. Definitely an interesting player now. But if you look at this, Tyson Russell, despite having less yards, less touchdowns, and more interceptions, has a better passer rating. So it might come down to completion percentage maybe, as well as yards per attempt. And that definitely plays a factor there. Interesting to see that, though. But, you know, look at the difference between Max Austin in first place in touchdowns and number 4. a 14 touchdown swing. Max Austin has almost doubled everybody in the NFL outside of Tyson Russell and Josh Broussard. Just unbelievable there. Keller leading the way with touchdowns with Artie Bella and DeAndre Clay. Interesting to see Keller up there after the year he had last year. Le'Veon Bell leading the way in yards, 963, 5.7 yards a carry. Hill was 730, Lacey almost 700, Kadeem Carey almost 700 as well. Touchdowns, 12 for Alfred Morris, Doug Martin with 9, Trey Mason with 9, Le'Veon Bell 7. A few different players here with 7. A rookie, James Talbot, out of Michigan State here with 6. Interesting to see that. Another rookie from Connecticut. Lateral Jeffrey. Lateral, what an awesome name that is. All right. Receiving, Bryant leading the way with 55 catches. As receiving yards, Mike Evans leading the way. Makes sense paired up with Max Austin there. Sean Hardy, number 2. Demarius Thomas, 3. Martavius Bryant, number 4. Receptions, let's go ahead and find out how far down the list that Curtis Harden is. So he's at 46. The leader is at 55. So he's really not that far down the list for catches. Receiving touchdowns, Bryant leading the way. Evans 2. Curtis Harden tied for number 2 with 9. Julian Beasley, a rookie out of Oklahoma with 9. Another rookie for the Packers. Look at this. The Packers, 2 6'4" rookie wide receivers. Cameron Means making it happen. And just weapons for Aaron Rodgers to work with, man. Going down the list now is Paul there. All right. There you go. So let's go ahead and look at defense now. And Butler leading the way in tackles. Kirksey 2nd. Marshall 3rd. Sacks. Let's see what we got. Derek Morgan catching back up with 8. Rafael Reyes with 8. J.J. Watt with 8. 6.5 for Mack. Alden Smith 6.5 for Richardson. And I feel like a few of our players might be glitched out of this right now. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Interceptions. We got 6 for Luke Kuechly. Tyrone Stevens with 5. Bradley Roby with 5 as well. But Roby, you know, it's weird. He makes a lot of big-time plays for us and getting interceptions and stuff. But he gets beat in coverage all the time. And even though he has 5 interceptions, I gotta wonder, will our defense as a whole be better if we try to make a move and start Jackson over him? Jackson apparently looks better in coverage. Granted, it's a very small sample size, so how much of that we can really take into consideration, we got to think about that. But Jackson looks better in coverage. Even when his guy, the receiver, makes a reception over him, it's usually very well covered and just an excellent play by the defender or by the receiver. So long term, I feel like it might be a little better having Jackson there. But then again, Roby, you know, he has 5 interceptions. He is doing a great job of getting his hands on the ball, but it's something that we got to think of. Going down the list, here we go for the kick returns. All right. And then the punt returns. Patrick Peterson with 3 punt returns for a touchdown. Unbelievable. That is going to be it for this episode, guys. Next week, we are going to be looking at the yearly awards from around the NFL. I'm excited about that. And we'll do our, we've already looked at the Colts roster, I believe. Have we played the Colts? I think we have. So we don't even have to worry about that. It's going to be interesting. If we haven't played the Colts, I'll do it, though. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. It really does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys next week as we check out the awards. Later.